You're watching WCSD Cable Television from Calloway County High School.
Charities are a vital part of any community. They provide services to people of all walks of life. American Red Cross, Boy Scouts, Angels Clinic, Needline, and Soup for the Soul are all nonprofit organizations that operate in the city of Murray. What you may not know about that is the organization that helps fund and mobilize these programs to help our local community, United Way. I'm here with Murray-Calloway County Director of United Way, Gerald Washington. Hello everyone, I'm Madison McCallum, and welcome to Calloway Connections. All right, nice to meet you, Mr. Gerald.
Hello Madison, good to meet you as well.
All right, thank you for coming here.
Sure.
So for the people in our school who might not know, what is United Way?
Well, United Way we term as the collective effort for trying to marshal nonprofit agencies to serve the needs of the community. The needs can vary from housing to food, for assistance to come to sexual assault, counseling, abuse. It tries to fulfill the full range of community needs that are expressed in what citizens desire that they need, and they've told us that they need.
Mm-hmm. All right, so since it's so widespread across the world, they do things in all different communities and over 40 countries, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And so what do they do for Murray in particular?
What we try to do is try to determine first what the needs of the community are, what are the priorities of the community. And then we try to find resources to meet those priorities. And then we try to find, by way of resources, those agencies that deliver on efficiently with a promise that they can have measurable results to meet those priorities. And then we take, what makes us most unique is we take a group of citizens, people who look like you and me, who visit the agencies, who talk to them about what they do, and they hold them accountable to what they say they're going to do, and can we measure their results to prove it? And if they meet that test, then they're part of what we call the United Way group, this collective group of agencies that deliver on those services. So when you as a citizen invest in United Way, you're really investing on an organization that your fellow community people believe make a difference. And there's a measurable difference. And it's an organization that is good at what they do. So we try to bring them all together, the citizens' desires, the priorities of the community, and the resources to make sure they happen.
So they live united?
So that we all live united, as we call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's our theme song, Living United.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get involved with United Way?
Well, about 2 years ago, I've been in about 2 years, and I've been in the nonprofit world about 35 years in terms of career. I've been at universities most of my life, but I've been in some other smaller nonprofit groups. And so when my spouse moved to Murray State, gave me an opportunity to move with her and be part of a nonprofit organization. So United Way had an opening at the time, and here I am.
Mm-hmm. So what are you hoping to accomplish in Murray?
Well, what we're hoping to do is, one, to raise more money for these organizations. The more money we can raise, the more services they can deliver. We had a goal of something like $200,000 this year in terms of total community needs. We're a little shy of that right now, and we certainly could use more. Our campaign year ends at the end of March, and so we're still $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 short of that goal. And it doesn't seem like much, but those last few days are always the toughest. So what we're trying to accomplish is to raise money for there are 13 organizations that are now in United Way. So we're trying to raise money to give those additional resources these 13 organizations need to deliver on their promise, measurable results that the community can find that accomplish the community needs.
Mm-hmm. So what would be a typical day in your position as director?
Well, it would be visiting some of the agencies to make sure they deliver on the promise that are measurable. For example, we might visit Gentry House one day, and Gentry House provides housing for homeless families. So we might see if it's full, do we need additional residence places for those families. We might visit with Needline, which provides food assistance for people in need of food assistance. We might try to find if there are adequate other resources. Do they need additional food resources? We might have a collective meeting of all the agencies to see if we can do some things together. Sometimes we do collective projects that no one agency can do by themselves. For example, homelessness involves 3 or 4 agencies in United Way. So we try to bring them together to address the needs of homelessness in our community. And then those thorny issues, sometimes advocacy, the current president's budget does not call for a lot of money for social agencies that deliver on things like food and food assistance. And so sometimes we're an advocate for the community of why we need to have food assistance, why we need to have housing assistance. The homelessness is real, and that is not going away, and so we need resources for that. So in some ways we're an advocate, some ways we recruit volunteers to have those agencies, some days we have those agencies become more efficient.
All right. Well, let's see. Have you seen a change in yourself since working with United Way?
I have. You know, Murray in Calloway County is a surprisingly giving community for community of size. We essentially are a college town with some manufacturing twist to it, but we find we come together in amazingly common ways. When we do a hunger banquet, for example, it'll be at Murray State. It'll be involved the hospital, it'll involve some of the manufacturing agencies. So they come together in a very common approach for solving problems in a very congenial fashion. One reason is you kind of run into the same people within the same week. And so you can't, it's in your interest to at least be talking to people and to get to know people. And when you do that, you kind of share resources. You know what's available at Murray State, you know what's available at Briggs and Stratton, you know what the hospital is doing. So it's easier to tap into those collective resources to make collective things happen. So I think that's the most pleasant surprise I've found. That's not present in larger cities. There's not the jealousies and competition for events that you might find in larger cities. I think they all find a common ground about sharing, and that's a good thing. That's a good part of living united, when you can share things.
So being in a college town, do you try and reach out to the college students a lot?
Yes, but you'll find that, not surprisingly, we have better able to involve administrative or staff people. College students do. They kind of enjoy themselves, and they're focused on their education, which is what they should do. But I think we're finding that getting them engaged into larger community purposes across the university, away from the university, a bit difficult. It's not unusual. They tend to do, again, focus on what they do, and so getting them involved in the homelessness 5 blocks down the street is not an easy task. But there are some. For example, one of the sororities did a prom night, and they donated proceeds to United Way. That's thinking outside the box and thinking about the larger community. So it can happen more, but I'm finding more energy trying to do that, because it's not an easy task to translate a college experience to a community experience.
Is United Way volunteer-based?
It is volunteer-based. We have myself as a full-time director, and the rest of the staff are part-time. So I am the one that has to spend that time making sure those coalitions, those groups, those entities come together. So it's a small staff of volunteers. And so we depend on to do these things by the volunteers that make up our board. It's a 19-member board. We depend on agencies and their volunteer boards to kind of come together for events. So it's very much volunteer-driven.
All right. So how could someone help if they decided they wanted to help United Way?
There are at least 3 ways. The easiest way, of course, is to give money. We depend on, we're a nonprofit, therefore we depend on monies from the community to help us. So giving to United Way is part of giving to the collective effort. Another way is volunteering. We volunteer on some of the boards of our agencies. Like I said, there are 13 agencies. They're all in need of volunteers. Some have a large volunteer board, some have a very small volunteer board. All are in need of good, capable, efficient volunteers. So volunteers the other way. And then we said the third way is always to advocate. We should not close our ears and our eyes to the homeless in our community. So when you see a budget process that's not including anything for homelessness, we ought to be concerned. And we ought to make that concern known to those that represent us in Frankfurt or in DC or in Washington. So advocating is on behalf of those who may not be effective by themselves is good. When we collectively do it, it helps make a difference as well. So give, volunteer, advocate. That's what we say.
So what brings United Way to different parts of the country?
There are about, I think, last numbers I'm thinking about 1,800 United Way agencies across the country. They're headquartered out of D.C. area, I think Virginia, where the headquarters is. And what we try to do, bring them all together, is we try to collectively determine what those priorities are of the community. We determined the 3 priorities in which all United Way is together focus on. First focus is education. and especially primary education, early education. We call Born Learning Academies, where children in pre-K get experiences so that they can stay in school. It's like a head start of sorts. The second one is financial literacy or financial stability. We believe the best way to help communities is for them to become financially independent. Individuals become independent, learning what a budget is, learning about credit, learn how to plan your retirement income. So financial independence helps us become less reliant, less dependent on everyone else. And that's an important step for becoming a better community. And the third way is health and wellness. A health community is a good community. So we think it's important that people have, and we include in wellness, exercise, obesity, training types of things, smokeless societies, less smoking societies. I won't say less, no smoking, less smoking societies. But I think if you can come with a healthy community, that means protection from abuse, protection from those that would abuse others, food again, housing assistance. Those are part of called health and wellness. So education, health and wellness, financial independence or financial literacy are the three pillars all the United Way's focus on. And we have different programs in different cities, but they all come together around those three focus areas.
All right. Well,
long answer, I'm sorry.
Long answers are perfectly fine. All right. We're talking with Gerald Washington on Calloway Connections, and we'll be right back.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hello and welcome back to Calloway Connections. I'm Madison McCallum and I'm here with Director of United Way, Gerald Washington. Hello again, Gerald.
Hello, Madison.
We've talked a lot about United Way, so why don't we ask about you? What are you into? Tell us about yourself.
Well, I have 3 daughters. I have 4 grandchildren, so they're great shows in that regard. But my hobbies, I like gardening, for example, as a way, because it had nothing to do with paper. After a while, you get those things that you can just peel around and not have to listen or answer a phone. Mm-hmm. I like to travel as well, but I like people. You know, you have to be in a job that you just like interacting with people, that you're comfortable around people, that you want to bring folks together around common cause. So you can't be shy. So I don't know many people I haven't made a friend. That's what I just say. I'll talk to us now, so they'll listen. I'll talk. So you have to have a certain degree of wanting to be around people. And United Way is people focused. It's individuals that you want to help and make a difference. And so you can't pull back. And I like doing that.
Sounds like a perfect reason to be drawn to a place like United Way, huh?
Well, and also a community like Murray, because if you need those kind of character qualities that make you feel comfortable with yourself, it helps to be in a community that's a caring community and that has a history of helping others. Now, I'm not saying everything is perfect in Murray. There are challenges we have. How do you continue to bring a college town into a broader community? How do you continue to keep jobs into a small community when a lot of industry are drawn to larger communities? So every community has its challenge, and we have challenges here. But I think collectively, the community has a right focus on caring about people and demonstrates that in what it does. Our goal should be higher, and we're going to get there. It's my 2nd year, and I believe over the next couple of years, we'll have a kind of a strategic plan where we can gather more resources from more organizations and more people. But we got to build that trust and faith in United Way. We've been here 18 years, but there are other organizations been in communities 50 years, and so we're a relatively young United Way agency relative to other United Ways around the country. And we're a relatively small agency. Philadelphia has, I was telling you, has a $5 million campaign. Mm-hmm. Ours, again, is $200,000, so it's big scale. Mm-hmm. And so we're considered a small type United Way. But we borrow on the same principles. I mentioned the 3 focuses. But we're also borrowing the same branding and the same intensity of purpose that we're coming together to make things happen for people in need.
Right. Well, it's been very nice having you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me and sharing your time.
It's been a pleasure to have Mr. Washington here to tell us about such a vital part of our community. United Way and the organizations they work with are essential to the daily lives of the citizens of Murray. And if you want to help or donate to United Way, you can visit the Murray-Calloway County website, www.mccunitedway.org. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Calloway Connections.